The Chico State Wildcat Baseball pregame show, having a little laugh here with Coach T before we talk about today's doubleheader. Chico State and Stanislaus State. Final weekend of the regular season, games 2 and 3 of this 4-game series. The Dave Taylor Show, presented by Mountain Mike's Pizza. Don't cook tonight. Call Mountain Mike's Pizza. The Wildcats learning kind of in the wee hours of the morning after yesterday's 9-4 win over Stanislaus that, yes, indeed, the Wildcats are in the postseason. We left the air last night thinking maybe they were, but there was a little indecision because of the various tiebreakers and with 3 teams being involved. But Coach T, your team learns they punch their ticket to the conference tournament. Always an accomplishment. I mean, you go through a long season. There's a lot of teams that would like to be in your spot, especially regionally, and you put yourselves in a great spot. Yesterday, a very good performance. But before we talk about Evan's performance and the team, talk about what it means to get in the postseason once again.
I mean, it's the standard here, you know, for a lot of years. And to accomplish, check the box for these guys. It's a great accomplishment. It's a great league. It's as good as it's ever been, you know, top to bottom, really. I mean, if you just anybody takes a peek at the standings, you can see that. So I don't think it's been ever this competitive. So for us to, you know, be up there, and really we talked about this yesterday, just the sustainability of playing well pretty much throughout the whole year. Of course, some hiccups, but we've stayed on course and we're able to accomplish this, you know, for me, you know, and, you know, these guys trying to sell, you know, the regionals kind of has been the standard here, which, you know, is maybe somewhat unfair for the players, but that's just kind of the way we've done our thing. And so we've got a chance. That's why these 3 games are big, is we got a chance to right the ship on the, you know, the top half of that regional ranking. And on the other hand, if we don't play well and don't win some ball games today and tomorrow, then we could be on the outside looking in. So what a great opportunity for our guys to kind of nail the hammer, not nail the hammer, but just to finish strong and be good next week when those rankings come out. So a lot to play for, and we'll talk about the seniors tomorrow. But you know, great day for baseball, and our guys are fired up and ready to go.
Boy, Evan Tomlinson had a couple of rough starts 4 or 5 starts ago, a couple of rough ones. The last 3 for him have been really, really good. And last night, I mean, man, he pitches into the 8th inning. He throws under 80 pitches, utilizes this great defense you have. They made contact, but it was weak contact. It's as good as we've really ever seen him. He was fantastic last night.
Yeah, he was. You know, I mean, he's the classic Chico State, pitch to contact, let his defense play. I mean, really, 1 strike in 7 and 1 strikeout in 7 2/3 inning. I mean, there you go. I mean, that's just a great performance. I mean, the pitch count. And here's what I attribute it to. So, you know, he hasn't pitched in a while. You know, he comes from Cal Poly. They didn't use him. And so he really starts off really well at Point Loma. But, you know, I mean, he hasn't thrown much. So he had that period where there was some fatigue with, you know, getting his pitch count up, and, you know, just didn't have his great stuff in the middle. Now I feel like he's built, well, not, I don't think, I know he's built some stamina to give us, you know, those 7 innings that a Friday guy needs to do, and a guy that, you know, you can count on going into the playoffs that's going to give you some length. So, you know, it's just a, you know, an arm thing where he's dialed in now with his strength because he's, you know, he's thrown a lot of pitches, so that's going to help him his next outing. Because, you know, I mean, that's what happens. That's what you build strength, when you throw more pitches. As much as people say, well, it tires him out, well, once you get into a routine every week, you're going to end up, you know, throwing a little bit better and a little bit harder as you build your pitch count. So he's at a good point right now in the season, and yeah, what a gutty performance.
How do you keep your guys on edge? And the reason I ask that is because they go, yeah, we clinched a spot in the conference tournament, but you know, and I know, been around this a long time, that these are the games, as you come through that finish line, run through the tape, play strong, put a strong series on the board right before you go into that conference tournament and make sure that regional ranking doesn't change. How do you employ your guys to keep that sense of urgency in these final 2 days of the regular season, because what lies ahead are the biggest games of their baseball careers?
Yeah, it's, you prepare them during the week with our energy and what we do defensively and the things that we do well. We really expound on those things to where guys feel good. It's the confidence part. And so if they're always feeling like they're confident and executing offensively and defensively during the week, then it usually tunes into really good energy. So you just, and if you look at it, our guys have always kind of responded. I mean, I don't know, you know better just how many doubleheader wins we've had over the year. And that's a tribute to them staying in the grind and liking that part of the game. I mean, that's getting enough guys to care and to have some fun with the grind that's necessary is the key. And so I think we have enough guys that do that, and they hold each other accountable, which is great from a coach to be able to say that guys want to play for each other. And so, it's a tricky thing. You just don't always know where their headspace is at, and we've worked hard to kind of define what this weekend means in these next 3 games. But microcosm of that is, just realizing the execution of our short game that we had yesterday. I mean, I've been busting their butt on the bunting game, as you know, and I mean, last night, I think we had 4 out of 5 sacks down and
Scored in all those innings.
Scored in all of them. So that's just great for them to see how important that is, And when you get into postseason, you're going to face everybody's Friday guy or second guy, and there's going to be low-scoring games where you just have to manufacture runs and you got to play the game. So that's how we've always done it, and I think last night they saw, like, in real time how important that is, and that'll help us as we move forward.
Good luck today, Coach.
Thanks, Mike.
Double dip today. Chico State Wildcats and Stanislaus State. The Wildcats clinching a spot in the conference tournament last night, and today they want to put the finishing touches on this doubleheader and then the single game with the senior day tomorrow. But a lot to play for over the next 2 days. 3 games. They want to leave a good taste in the regional committee's mouth before they head to LA for the conference tournament next Wednesday. Take a quick break. Chico State baseball starting lineups first pitch right after this.
get ready for today's doubleheader between the Chico State Wildcats and the Stanislaus State Warriors. And we have a train. We are moments away from the first pitch. I'm going to need some. Do we count it? Do we count this train? It's not really. The game hasn't really started yet. I don't think we can count it. If the first pitch is delivered and we still see the train, we will count it. We're still sitting at 31. So that does not count on our Nettleton Stadium train count. It's got to be during the game, not during the broadcast. Luke Reed was very specific about that 15 years ago when we started this incredibly important endeavor of counting the trains during games. Here's the lineup brought to you by Recology, changing the waste industry for good. Call an employee owner today. For Stanislaus State, Robert Valdivia, the shortstop, leads off. Luke Davies is the designated hitter. He bats in the 2-hole with Alex Solis in left field hitting third. Homered last night. Flavio Perez at third base, bats cleanup. Art Navarrete is at first base. Navarrete hits fifth. Jacob Baker, the center fielder, will be hitting sixth. Danny Murphy is catching. Murphy bats seventh. Jackson Brooks, right fielder, he'll hit eighth. And Ryan Leonosio, the second baseman, is batting ninth. Valdivia, Davis, Solis, Perez, Navarrete, Baker, Murphy, Brooks, and Leonosio against Chico State right-hander Rocco Borelli. A record of 5 wins and 3 losses and a 5.18 earned run average. And for Borelli, he is making his 13th start of the year. 57 1/3 innings. He's given up 68 hits, 36 runs, 33 earned. He's walked 15. He has struck out 44. Opponents hitting .293 against Borelli. And Rocco, two-way player who plays some first base for Chico State as well. He's a junior out of Antioch, went to Los Medanos College. Chico State learning last night they clinch a spot in the conference tournament. For the Wildcats, they have lived a lot of their life this year, this baseball season, off those first 3 weeks of the year. They went 7-2 against Colorado Mesa, against Point Loma, against Northwest Nazarene. And those are 3 of the top 6 teams in the region. Chico State, though, has not had a disastrous weekend. They have lost 2 series this year. At home against East Bay, that was a bad weekend. And against a very good San Francisco State team, they lost 3 out of 4. But other than that, they've either won series or split series, and they played a very strong schedule. They're ranked 3rd in the region. The pitch is going to be delivered, and we see the train. So we are going to count that train. And the first pitch is in there for a strike, and we are underway. That is the first train of the day, the 32nd of the season. So it just got in just in time with the first pitch. The 0-1, and Valdivia takes strike 2. And the count goes no balls and 2 strikes. He's hitting .326, 2 home runs. He's driven in 27, went 0 for 3 in last night's game. Borelli looks in, and the 0-2 delivery shows him the breaking ball away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Chico's been a good team at home. They are 16-7, and really aside from the rough series they had at home against East Bay in mid-March, they have been a dominant team here in their home ballpark. There's a swing and a foul straight back, and the count remains at 1-2. Stanislaus, we mentioned last night, played basically 2/3 of their games at home. 30 home games, and coming into last night, only 14 games on the road. Here's the 1-2 pitch. This one is grounded to short. Arambula will gobble it up, throw on to first, and get the out, and there's 1 down. And that'll bring up the designated hitter, Luke Davies. Davies, the designated hitter, hitting .294. 4 home runs. He's driven in 15. Went 0 for 3 in last night's game. Wind is blowing today. Last night, very calm winds. Gorgeous night. It is gorgeous, not a cloud in the sky today, but it's a little bit more windy, just a little bit cooler as well. Pitch is in there for a strike to Davies, and the count is 0-1. Casillas is in left. Case is in center. Kent is in right, with Baker at third, Arambula at short, Thade Miller at second, Casey Vogan at first, and Daniel Vieira behind the plate. Here is Borelli's pitch, and that's a check swing, ground ball, third. Gloved by Baker, throws across his body, and he got him by a whisker. That was close. The ball was just a little check swing dribbler up the third base line. Baker was playing deep. He had to charge it. He gloved it, and threw across his body and got enough on the throw. Nice stretch by Casey Vogan, and there's 2 down here in the first inning. That'll bring up Alex Solis, the left fielder. Solis hitting .302 with 6 home runs. He's driven in 19. Had a homer and a single in last night's game. In the pitch, takes a big breaking ball in there for a strike. Count is 0-1. Home plate umpire is Nicholas Webb. Alan Walker, last night's home plate umpire, around at third, and the crew chief, Eric Martinez, is over at first. Here comes the 0-1, and that misses off the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. We'll be keeping you updated on some of the other games around the CCAA. San Marcos and San Bernardino playing a doubleheader. They're starting with us. And San Francisco State and Monterey Bay, they start at 2 o'clock, a doubleheader there. Here comes the 1-1. This one is lifted into center field. It's playable. The wind is knocking it down. Case comes in, makes the catch, and Borelli has a real easy first inning. 2 ground balls and a fly ball. 1-2-3 first. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left. Half inning in the books. Stanislaus nothing. Chico is coming up. State, Thade Miller leads off. He's at second base with Phoenix Casillas in left field batting in the 2-hole. Troy Kent, right fielder, he'll hit third. Michael Baker, he's been hot of late. He bats third. He bats a cleanup, and he plays third base. Went 2 for 5 in last night's contest. Daniel Vieira's moved up in the lineup. He had a 2-hit night. He's catching. He'll hit fifth with Casey Vogan at first base batting sixth. Ernie Arambula is at shortstop. Arambula bats seventh. Jesse Gadd gets the start at DH today. Jesse, the DH, he'll hit 8th, and Carson Case, center fielder, he'll bat 9th. Miller, Casillas, and Kent. Baker, Vieira, Vogan, Arambula, Gadd, and Case against right-hander Zach Geese. Geese, a record of 3-1 and a 5.41 earned run average. Miller went 2 for 4 last night. He raised his batting average to .342. In fact, he now has 10 hits in his last 21 at-bats in his last 5 games. It's 10 for his last 21, so he's swinging a hot bat at the perfect time of year. Here comes the 1-0, and that misses low. Ball 2, 2 balls and no strikes. Geese comes into this start, his 5th start of the year, 16th appearance, 3-1, 5.40 ERA, 36 2/3 innings pitched. He's given up 46 hits. The 2-0, and it's in there for a strike. 32 runs given up, 22 earned. He's walked 18, struck out 22. Opponents are hitting .313 against him. He does have a bit of wildness. He's thrown 8 wild pitches, and he's hit 7 batters. Both of those are the highest on the team. Here's the pitch, and that's down and away, and the count goes to 3-1. Thade hitting .342 coming in with no homers and 25 runs batted in on the year for Thade Miller. East looks in, gets the sign, and the pitch, and it's up and in. That is ball 4, and he draws the leadoff walk, and Chico took full advantage of that last night as they were able to cash in these leadoff walks. And now it is Casillas hitting .359, the 14th leading hitter in the conference. 1 home run, 23 runs batted in. Stanislaus thinking bunt. Chico laid down 4 sack bunts last night. They'll try again. Casillas shows bunt, pulls the bat back. In fact, Casillas laid down a bunt last night, and it's kind of been a problem for him this year. Leonosio now, the head coach, is going to walk out to the mound, and he wants to talk with his pitcher saying, they're trying to give us an out. Let's kind of take it. Let's throw the ball over the plate. Let's not get too cute. But Casillas laid down a bunt, and there was a hero's welcome for Casillas in the dugout. It was more than your normal way to go. Good job getting the bunt down and sacrificing. It was a celebration because Casillas has had some issues trying to get those bunts down. And especially for a Chico State 2-hitter, it is vital to get them down. And Coach T kind of talked about it on the pregame show. He says, hey, we laid down 4 sack bunts last night. And then I kind of interjected and I said, yeah, and you scored in every inning. He goes, exactly. It's tough to kind of get across to these guys that when we start playing the postseason next week, we have to bunt. We have to get these bunts down because you're going to be facing the best of the best, not only in the conference but in the region, and you're going to be out facing pitchers you're not going to be able to cuff around for crooked numbers. Casillas shows the bunt early. Geese's pitch, and Casillas takes it up and in for a ball, 2-0. We talked about it a lot. Sometimes Chico's trying to lay down a bunt, and they're just trying to bunt a pitch that's not a good pitch to bunt. It's at the letters. You got to force them to get it down. Casillas squares around. Here's the 2-0, and he takes a strike on the outside corner, and the count goes to 2-1. It's pretty much just like trying to get a base hit. The most important thing is get a good pitch to hit. Get a good pitch to bunt. You can get it down. 2-1 pitch. He bunts it, but he stabbed at it, and he fouled it off. You see Casillas up there. He just kind of doesn't look comfortable in doing it. And he kind of jabbed at it. You're just trying to catch the ball with the bat. Just catch it. Catch the ball with the barrel of the bat. 2-2. Runner goes. Pitch is swung on and fouled off. So they take the bunt off. Count is 2-2. Troy Kent waiting on deck. Underway, game 1 of this doubleheader today. Keep you updated on the games around the CCAA. Chico has clinched, but now it really comes down to seeding. Who might their opponent be? So there's going to be interesting matchups, and we'll keep you updated on those. Here comes the 2-2. And it's a breaking ball that hit him in the back. So the Wildcats now runners at first and second with nobody out, and they've gotten a couple of gifts from Stanislaus here in the bottom of the first. And Troy Kent will step in for Chico State. Kent hitting .372, 9 home runs. He's driven in 45 runs. Corners are playing in. He's not bunting. Kent swinging away. Here's the pitch. And he drills it to right. That ball's hit well. Brooks ranging back. He's not going to get it. It's going to one-hop the wall. Fade Miller was holding. They're going to wave him home. They'll hold Casillas at third. Miller will score. It's a double for Kent. The Wildcats lead it by a score of 1-0. He rifled that ball into right field over the head of Brooks. It one-hopped the fence. And the third leading RBI man in the CCAA adds to his total, his 46th run batted into the season. Chico's best hitter, not waiting long. He took a 1-for-5 last night, and that qualifies as a slump for Kent. He's back at it again, and they cash in the leadoff walk. Second and third, nobody out. Here's the chance. Put a crooked number on the board. Here's Baker. He's hot. And the pitch. Chops it to short. That'll get a run home. Gloved by Valdivia. He'll throw to first. He'll get the out. And Chico will get the run home as Casillas will score. Kent read it well off the bat. He takes third. Baker picks up his 26th run batted in of the season. And the Chico State Wildcats now lead it by a score of 2-0. So runner at third, one down, and here is Vieira. Stanislaus will bring their infield in here in the first inning. Down 2-0. And the pitch. Vieira takes it a little bit low. 1 ball, no strikes. Vieira went 1-for-4 in last night's game. He's hitting .242 with a home run. He's driven in 16. I think Coach T liked what he saw, though, from Vieira. Took a couple of walks, hit a couple of balls hard, one of them for a hit. And the delivery. Swings and fouls it straight back. It has been a real struggle for Vieira since March 1st. His batting average is 171. That's about 7 weeks, almost 2 months. He was the cleanup hitter to start the season. In fact, over the first 15 to 20 games, he was lighting it up. He was hitting well over 300. Here's the pitch. Takes a pitch down and away. These extended slumps, it's interesting because you talk about maybe 40 or 50 at-bats, and in Major League Baseball, that's basically like 5 or 6. That's a week. But in college baseball, it's 6 weeks. And so it's been going for a while. He pops this one up foul. It'll get out of play. But with that said, the Chico State Wildcats know that, and it's kind of, not to say it's all on Vieira's shoulders, but if he hits, if he starts hitting, all of a sudden the lineup looks a lot different than it is now. 2-2 the count. And the pitch. Swings and fouls it straight back. Good swing by Vieira. The thing about Vieira, which makes him so vitally important, is his ability to catch. The pitchers love throwing to him. He is really good at blocking balls. He's really good at handling the pitching staff. And so that's why he's going to be in there. He's not leaving the lineup. 2-2 the count. The pitch. Slider away. That's a good take. That's a pitch he's been swinging at. That's a pitch that teams have been able to get him out on a 2-2 pitch. He's been going out of the zone, and that time he spit at it. So now the count is full, 3-2. This will be the 7th pitch of the AB. Runner at third, one down, 3-2 on Vieira. And the delivery. Chops it to short. Runner's coming home. Kent will get caught up in a rundown, and they will tag him out. So it was a contact play, and Kent just didn't get a great break from third base. Big chopper to the shortstop with the infield in, and it's 6-2 as they cut him down. So Vieira reaches on the fielder's choice. 2 down, runner at first. And now it's Casey Vogan. Vogan hitting .293 with no home runs. He's driven in 15. Digs in from the right side. And the pitch. Vogan takes down. They appeal. Eric Martinez says he does not go. 1 ball and no strikes. 2-0 Chico. We're in the bottom of the first. Thrilled you joined us. We're playing 2 today. Chico State and Stanislaus State from Nettleton Stadium. Game 2 of this 4-game series. Here's the 1-0. Vogan takes up and in for a ball. 2-0. Ernie Arambula waiting on deck. Ernie, one of the leading hitters in the conference. He's almost, where's he jumped, I think, into the 15 spot, 16 spot in terms of batting average. Here's a drive by Vogan. That is into left center field. That's a base hit. Over to field it is Solis, going over to third and making it. Now going to second will be Vogan, but he went late and he's going to get tagged out. That is not a good base running play by Vogan. The Wildcats, there was too much hesitation, and that short circuits the inning. The Wildcats were in business, but they make a couple of base running miscues there. Vogan gets the hit, but the Wildcats run themselves out of the inning. And in the inning for Chico, they settle for 2 runs on 2 hits. No errors, and they leave 1. We played 1 inning. Our score, it's Chico State 2, Stanislaus nothing. Stadium Train Count is brought to you by Interwest Insurance Services, supporting youth sports in our community since 1946. Let our experience guide you. Interwest Insurance Services. Second train of the day, 33rd of the season. And the first pitch is in there for a strike to Flavio Perez, and the count is 0-1. So train number 2 of the day and 33rd of the season. Edelton Stadium Train Count. Here's Borelli's pitch, and Perez takes it down low. 1 ball and 1 strike. A couple of base running miscues in the bottom of the first. I thought Kent was a little indecisive in coming home from third. With the infield in, you probably shouldn't come home on the chopper hit by Vieira. Here's a swing and a miss on a nasty breaking ball away, and the count is 1-2. So Kent kind of half-heartedly came in, and probably best to stay put there. And then you have Vogan. There's a swing and a chop foul at home plate. We'll do it again at 1-2. Vogan had to play in front of him. The throw came into third, but it doesn't necessarily mean you have to go to second. You can go halfway and then scamper back. But he went, but he was thrown out easily. 7-5-4 on the putout. This ball is hammered but foul down the left field line. We'll do it again at 1-2. So a couple of base running decisions that leave a lot to be desired. But Chico still has a 2-0 lead. Perez 1 for 4 in last night's game, hitting .317, 5 homers, 30 runs batted in. And the 1-2. This is lined, and it's caught by Thade Miller. It was a soft little humpback liner hit off the end of the bat. Thade was playing deep at second. You thought for a moment off the bat it might sail over his head, but he was able to get back there and catch the line drive. 1 down here in the second, and that'll bring up Art Navarrete, the first baseman. Navarrete hitting .280, 3 home runs. He's driven in 25. He's a left-handed hitter. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. He is a 6'3" junior from Fresno, transfer from Fresno City College. Looking at his Borelli in the pitch. Swung on, foul tipped at home plate. No balls and 2 strikes. Borelli looking into Vieira for his sign. And the 0-2. So there's a breaking ball down. It goes in the dirt, skips to the backstop. Count is 1-2. Looking in is Rocco. Here comes the 1-2. It's a topper foul home plate area. We'll do it again at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, when Chico State learned they were in the conference tournament, it was quickly get the travel plans ready. The Cats will be busing down to LA on Monday morning for the tournament that starts Wednesday. We'll have a travel day Monday, practice day Tuesday. There's strike 3 called. Ran a cutter in, and that ball just ran in on Navarrete. He gave up on it, and Borelli gets the strikeout. 2 quick outs here in the second, and that'll bring up the center fielder, Jacob Baker. For Borelli, his 45th strikeout of the season. That is the most on the Chico State staff. Here's the pitch. This one is skied into right field. It is playable for Kent. He will wait for it to come out of the blue sky. He'll make the catch. 6 up and 6 down for Rocco Borelli, as he is looking good here through 2. No runs, no hits, no errors, and no one is left. We head to the bottom of the second inning. It's Chico 2, Stanislaus 0. Bula, Gadd, and Case, 7, 8, 9 hitters for Chico State as they come to the plate against Zach Geese here in inning 2. Arambula hitting .340 with no home runs. He's driven in 18, went 2 for 2, and drove in 3 last night. And the pitch. Arambula lifts it to center field. This is playable. Wind will push it toward right center. Baker is there, and he will make the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the bottom of the second. We have another train. They are shipping goods, trying to beat the tariffs. And so there's product moving, people. 3rd train of the day. It's coming. We haven't seen it yet, but it's coming. We can hear the horns. And here is Jesse Gadd, the designated hitter, hitting .275, 3 home runs, and 16 runs batted in. And now time is called. We don't see the train yet, but it's coming. You can hear it off in the distance. We're going to go for a personal record or a single-day record today at this rate. Fastball is in there for a strike. Remember, though, we don't play many games double headers on a Friday. The double headers are usually on a Saturday, and so we don't have a ton of trains on the Saturdays. So this could be the day we have a ton of them. There's a pitch that misses down, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike to Gadd. .275 hitter, 3 homers, and 16 runs batted in for the left-handed hitter and transfer from Colorado Mesa. 2nd year in the Chico State program. Early in the season last year, he suffered a serious knee injury on a play at the plate here at Nettleton Stadium. There's a pitch down and in. He checks his swing. No swing, says Alan Walker, and the count is 2-1. In fact, it was a play at the plate where he didn't slide, and his knee went into home plate, and it hyperextended on home plate, and he tore his ACL. Here comes the 2-1. Swing and a miss. Hard stuff down and away, and the count is 2-2. Carson Case waiting on deck. See a lot of injuries with, and especially I've been, watching as much Little League baseball as I am these days. Just slide. These kids who don't slide, and then they put their foot on top of the bag, the leg slips, they turn an ankle or a foot, pitch misses down and away. But if you learn how to slide and become comfortable with it, you can pop up. You slide, you pop up. If the ball gets away, you can run to the next base. You don't have to stand. You can slide into the bag. 3-2 the count. And the pitch. Down low, ball 4. That's a good AB by Jesse Gadd. It's a 1-out walk for Chico State here in the second. And that'll bring up the center fielder, Carson Case. Case hitting .216, couple of home runs. He's driven in 17. There's the train. 3rd of the day, 34th of the season. So number 3 on the day. Here's Geese's pitch. Case takes fastball up and away. 1 ball, no strikes to Case, who went 0 for 3 in last night's game. Coming set is Geese. And the pitch. Bunt is shown. Pitch is taken high. Ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes to Chico State's center fielder. Thade Miller is waiting on deck. Looking in the right-hander for the Warriors. Even with a bag at 3rd is Perez. Now time is called. Coach T will relay some signs to Carson. Taps home plate. Gadd takes his lead. Navarrete holds him on. 2-0 the count. And the pitch. Fastball. That's a strike. Outside corner. Count goes 2-1. Very important games around the conference today, including Dominguez Hills and Cal State Los Angeles. LA has a 7-5 lead in the 5th at Dominguez Hills after winning last night 16-5. Here's the 2-1. That misses high. Ball 3. 3-1. Dominguez and San Francisco were tied for first with Monterey Bay behind them by a game. Monterey beat San Francisco State 5-3. So there's a 3-way tie for first heading into today. Here's the pitch. And this one is lined by Case to right, ranging over, reaching up, and making the catch is Brooks. And he'll get it back in. He hit the ball hard there. Carson probably sitting there going, man, I'm hitting some balls on the screws. He has hit 2 balls in this series really hard. But those atom balls have gone right to fielders. He's got nothing to show for it yet. 2 down, and here's Thade Miller. He walked and scored in the first, hitting .342 on the year. Gadd takes his lead away from first base. And the pitch. Takes down and away for a ball. 1-0. Other games being played. East Bay is leading Pomona 9-5. And San Bernardino has a 2-0 lead on San Marcos in the second. That game being played for the final playoff spot. Pitches misses down low for a ball. 2-0 the count. So a lot at stake today. We could learn who's in by the end of the day. But San Marcos needs to split that series to punch their ticket after losing last night. Here's the pitch. Thade hits a fly ball center field shallow, barely having to move his Baker. He's there. He'll make the catch, and the inning is over. No runs, no hits, no errors. Our runners left. We have played 2 innings from Nettleton Stadium. It's Chico State 2, Stanislaus 0. And Ryan Leonosio, 7, 8, 9 hitters for Stanislaus, coming to the plate here in this third inning. Murphy last night went 0 for 3. He's hitting .211. No home runs. He's driven in 19. As he'll dig in now from the right side. Borelli has faced 6 batters, 6 up, 6 down. Here's the pitch. Nasty breaking ball, drops in there for a strike. Murphy has driven in 19 on the year. Rocco set in the pitch. That misses outside for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Looks in and the pitch. This one skied to center. Ranging over to right center is Case as the wind pushed it that way, and he makes the catch. And there is 1 down here in the top half of the third. Borelli using the spacious ballpark and his defense. Rough night for the Warriors defensively last night with 6 errors. It led to 3 unearned runs and just opened things up for Chico, allowed them to stretch out their lead. Here's Jackson Brooks. He takes a strike. Brooks hitting .306, no homers, 7 RBIs. Brooks got a base hit and a pinch hitting role last night in the 9th inning. Here's Borelli, he is set. And the pitch. This one is lifted down the right field line. This is trouble if it's fair. It's foul. It just hooked foul. He was out in front of that pitch, and it was hooking down the right field line. It hung up in the air, but I'm sure it was given a little bit of a push by that brisk wind blowing out toward right. Count now at 0-2. Ryan Leonosio, the leading hitter in the lineup for Stanislaus, is waiting on deck. Borelli is set. And the pitch. Fastball, shows it to him, up and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Rocco again, coming set. 1-2. This one is ripped but foul down the right field line. Dropped the bat head on a pitch down and in. Hit it well but foul. We'll do it again at 1-2. Wildcats looking for win number 29 on the year. Yesterday, Westmont was splitting a doubleheader with Azusa Pacific. There's a fastball that just misses off the plate. These are scores from around the region. Point Loma, they split a doubleheader with Jessup University. And Billings, they split a doubleheader with Central Washington yesterday. Hawaii Pacific beat Chaminade 8-3. Here's the 2-2. This is a hard hit ground ball, right field base hit. Well, Brooks did a good job 3 times dropping the bat head, and this time finds the hole. He's 2 for 2 in the series as he grounds a single into right field. And it's the first hit, first base runner for the Warriors. It comes here in the 3rd inning with 1 out, and that'll bring up Ryan Leonosio. Leonosio hitting .329. No home runs. He's driven in 24. Borelli is set in the pitch. Misses high for a ball. 1-0. Coming set is Borelli. And the 1-0. Fastball just misses off the plate. And hear the pop of the glove with Vieira stabbing that thing, freezing it there for home plate umpire Nicholas Webb. Count goes 2-0. Short lead for Brooks at first. Bogan holds him on, 2-0 pitch. There's the strike. Borelli runs that over the inside corner. Count goes 2-1. Threw 20 pitches through the first 2. And Rocco. 13th start of the year. Runner goes, 2-1 pitch. Taken low, and a throw into center field. Vieira's throw just sailed onto the second base side. It'll be a stolen base for Brooks, and then an error on Vieira on the throw that kind of got away from him a little bit and got into the runner. Really no chance for Thade Miller to knock that thing down. I was a little shocked the pitch wasn't called a strike. It looked good from our vantage point, but they called it a ball, and the count is 3-1. Maybe Vieira rising up to catch it, seeing the runner on the move. Here's a 3-1. It's a bunt. It's a good one. Baker will glove. He'll throw across his body. He'll get the out at first. They will get the run home. So a safety squeeze bunt by Leonosio, and he'll get a sacrifice and an RBI. And coming home to score is Jackson Brooks on the stolen base in the air. And the Warriors play a little small ball to get a run home here in the 3rd. It's now Chico 2, Stanislaus 1. So they cash in the error by Chico State. 2 out, nobody on. Here is the leadoff hitter, Valdivia, and he takes a pitch outside for a ball, 1-0. At least right now, that's an unearned run. Could change, though, the pitch. This one lifted to left, should be playable. Casillas is there, and he will make the catch, and the inning is over. Stanislaus gets on the board, though, and they cash in an error on Chico State. They pick up a run on a hit. There was an error, and no one left. 2.5 innings in the books. Chico 2, Stanislaus 1.
From home improvements to
Chico State and the Warriors of Stanislaus. It'll be Casillas, Kent, and Baker for the Wildcats. Chico leading the game by a score of 2-1 and had an opportunity to put a third run on the board, but just not able to do it in that first. Casillas hit by a pitch, scored a run in the first. Here's Geis with the kick and the pitch, and Casillas takes it a little bit low. 1 ball, no strikes. 359 hitter coming into the game. 1 home run, he's driven in 23. Here's the pitch, he shows bunt, takes the pitch inside corner for a strike. Casillas swung it pretty well last weekend. Went 7 for 17 at San Marcos. He's 9 for his last 21. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Big breaking ball, a good one. Gets a piece of the inside corner for a strike, and the count goes 1-2. Wind blowing across from left center toward right. Ball will carry to right today. It'll be knocked down if it's hit to left. 1-2 the count. Geese's pitch. Casillas, it's a hard ground ball to the left of the shortstop. Valdivia, he gloves, he spins, he throws, and it pulled him off the bag. Navarrete came off the bag to get the throw. Navarrete, he is imploring Eric Martinez to say, wait a minute, I stayed on the bag. My foot stayed on, but Eric Martinez says no, the throw pulled him off. And the Chico State Wildcats get their leadoff man on. It was a nice play by Valdivia on a ball hit to his left. He gloved it, he spun, he threw, and the ball just sailed on him a little bit. And they'll give Casillas an infield single on that ball. And that'll bring up Troy Kent. The pitch. Takes it up and away for a ball, 1-0. Kent driving in his 46th run of the season on a 1-hopper off the wall and right in the first. 2 for 6 in the series. He's driven in 46 runs. It is the 3rd most in the CCAA. The 1-0. Slices this one foul and into the parking lot. 1 ball and 1 strike. Kent is also 3rd in the league. Now he's 2nd in the league in doubles. 16 doubles on the year. That's 2nd in the conference. Here comes the 1-1. He hits this one to right field. It's pretty deep. The wind is carrying it. Back to the track is Brooks, on the edge of the track, I should say, and he makes the catch. Boy, you really saw the effects of the wind there. That ball was not hit that great. And that ball got in the air, and it just carried. And, boy, it just shows anything hit to right field today has got a chance of getting out of here. So a long out, runner remains at first, and now it's Michael Baker. Casillas is a threat to steal. He's got 8 steals and 12 tries, tied for the team high. Baker grounded to short, picked up an RBI in the first. 2 for 6 in the series. And the pitch. Baker takes a strike. Outside corner, count 0-1. Hitting .317 with a homer. He's now driven in 26. Baker was great last weekend, 8 for 19 at San Marcos. Chico swung the bats great last weekend. Here comes the 0-1. Baker, it's a chopper to short. Valdivia gets a tough hop, stays with it, goes to 2nd for 1, and that's all they'll get. As Casillas slid in, and the second baseman, Leonosio, did not want to risk a throw. Ball had some topspin, it got to Valdivia. He did a good job of staying in front and making sure of 1. Making sure they at least got 1 out on that play. So a fielder's choice for Baker. Runner at first now, 2 down, and here is Vieira. Vieira came to the play with a runner at 3rd and 1 out, hit that chopper to short with the infield drawn in, and they cut down Kent in a rundown between 3rd and home. And the pitch. Vieira takes a big swing, comes up empty, and the count is 0-1. Bottom of the 3rd inning, Chico State and Stanislaus. Set is Geese. The 0-1, runner goes, pitches down and away, the throw down to second base, and out is Baker. Nice pick by Leonosio at second. The ball 1-hopped him, He stayed with the hop and quickly got the tag down, and Baker slid into it. 2-4, then the caught stealing, and Chico State's inning started nicely with an infield hit, kind of ends with a whimper on a base runner thrown out at second. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, no one is left. 3 innings in the books. Chico 2, Stanislaus 1. 2-1. Let's look at some scores around the CCAA. Cal State Los Angeles last night beat Dominguez 16-5. They banged out 21 hits in Carson in their 11-run win, and they haven't let up today. They have scored 9 runs through 6 innings. They lead 9-5. A 4-run second, a 3-run fifth, 2 more in the 6th. They have hit 3 home runs. Marquez, Espinoza, and Brian Nunez have all hit home runs in that game. And they rough up Dominguez Hill's pitching, as the starter for Dominguez did not get through the 2nd inning. Tristan Eddy went an inning and 2/3, walked 4, gave up 4 hits and 4 earned runs. The left-hander Brian Kraft came in the game. They lit him up as well. He went 4 1/3 innings, 6 hits, 3 walks, 5 earned runs. On the mound for LA is Lino Zepeda, 5 innings, 4 hits, 5 earned runs. 9-5 LA. They have the lead. They came into today in a tie with Chico State for 4th in the conference standings. Dominguez in a tie for 1st in the conference standings with Monterey Bay and San Francisco State, who are playing one another. Here's a swing and a miss by Davies, and the count is 0-1. Number 2 hitter in the lineup for Stanislaus. Davies grounded to 3rd in the 1st. Nice play by Baker. Charged it, gloved it, and threw him out on the run. Next pitch down and away, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Davies 0 for 4 in the series. The other game we're looking at, San Bernardino and San Marcos. That is for the 6th and final playoff spot. Here's a pitch. This one is lined foul. There's only 4 teams who have clinched. Chico's one of them. Ironically, LA hasn't clinched yet, even though Chico's tied with them. So LA, San Marcos, and San Bernardino are 3 teams battling for 2 spots. Here's the pitch. This one is slap foul and out of play. We'll do it again at 1 ball and 2 strikes. And San Bern does have the tiebreaker on LA, but LA doesn't look like they're going to lose a game this weekend the way they're beating up on Dominguez Hill's pitching. They haven't faced Abercrombie yet, the ace for Dominguez, who will go in the 2nd game today. There's a swing and a miss. Breaking ball down and in. Davies swings right through it, and it's the 2nd strikeout for Borelli. 1 down here in the 4th. San Bernardino has a 5-2 lead on San Marcos. Daryl Ruiz has hit another home run in the ball game. Ruiz has now 14 home runs and 67 runs batted in, having a tremendous year for the Yotes. Here's Solis, and he takes a pitch outside for a ball, 1-0. Shedlock, Ruiz, Rodriguez, and Vinesti have RBIs. Another rough start by a San Marcos pitcher. Jordan Townley has given up 5 earned runs through 2. Here's the 1-0 to Solis, and he takes a strike outside corner. Count goes 1-1. It is a 5-2 game, and guess who hit another home run for San Marcos? Their number 9 hitter, their shortstop, Fisher Pyatt. He now has 5 home runs in his last 6 games. Here's a swing and a miss on a fastball blown by Solis, and the count is 1-2. Pyatt hit 3 home runs against Chico State last weekend. He came into the series with 3 homers. He now has 8. He is on a home run tear, a 2-run shot in the 3rd. It's 5-2 San Bernardino. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swung on, little tapper. That is going to be a fair ball. Picked up by Vieira. Throws to first and gets the out. Good job by Vieira. I was almost going to scream, let it go. It's going to go foul. But Vieira pounced on it, barehanded it, wheeled and turned, and threw a bullet to first to get the very good hitting Solis. So you have a chance to get him out, you take it. 2 down here in the 4th, and here's Flavio Perez, third baseman, lined out to second base in the 2nd. Borelli's pitch. Swing and a miss, took a little bit off. Had him way out in front. Borelli looks in. Does come set. And the 0-1. Hit hard to third is a foul ball. Just kicked foul. All San Marcos has to do is split that series, and they will get into the postseason. But they're in danger. 0-2 the count to Perez. Pitch. Misses down and away. Well, they're not in as much danger now. The guy who victimized Chico State in the 2nd game of the doubleheader, the walk-off double, Victor Castaneda, just hit a 2-run homer. It's now 5-4 San Bernardino over San Marcos. They're batting in the 3rd, are the Cougars. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball misses outside. Count goes 1-2. Arthur Navarrete, first baseman, waits on deck. Borelli trying to have a 1-2-3-4. And the pitch. Swung on, popped up. This could be playable. Vieira giving it a look. He's near the screen, and oh, it just gets out of play. There was a young lady taking pictures behind home plate. She almost walked into it. Chico State intern, Gwynny, Chico State intern, almost walked in. She almost got domed. What are you training her to do on foul balls, Rick? Wow. If she stayed close to the fence, she would have been fine. She almost walked into that as she backed away. 1-2 the count. And the pitch. This one is driven to right center, and it's hit well. Case is on the run, races back, reaches up, makes the catch. Got a great break, and his closing speed is something to see. He covers a lot of ground out there. Good play by Carson Case on a ball hit on the screws by Flavio Perez. No runs, no hits, no errors, and no one is left. We head to the bottom of the 4th. Chico 2, Stanford. in the series opener. Sitting at 28-18, looking for win number 29 on the year. Vieira left at home plate when Baker was caught trying to steal. Here's the pitch, and it bounces up there. 1 ball and no strikes. I got some good news for Daniel Vieira because Chico State is now going to go to the conference tournament, and it's going to be played at Reeder Field in LA. And he had a weekend in LA for the ages last year. And he didn't even start the first game of the series. Pitch is in there for a strike, and the count is 1-1. It was one of those games where it had the LA people asking me after the game, how much eligibility does that guy have left? That's how good the weekend was for Vieira. Fastball misses down and away, and the count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike. For the weekend, last year against LA, Daniel Vieira went 8 for 13 against LA. Here's a pop-up down the right field line, and this one will get out of play. Vieira did not start the first game of the series. He came up as a pinch hitter late in that game. He walked a couple of times. But for Vieira, for the entire weekend, he hit 4 home runs in 3 starts, and he drove in 9 with 5 extra base hits. The pitch is a hard hit ground ball inside the bag at third, down the left field line. Vieira's rounding first, he's thinking 2. He takes the turn, picking it up is Solis, and he will cruise into second with a double. And we're starting to see some signs from Daniel Vieira. Here in May, the calendar is turned, and he's had a couple of solid games here. I mean, qualifying here with a base hit. Remember, he went 0 for 12 last weekend. Dropped his batting average below 240. Runner at second, nobody out. Here is Vogan. Chico trying to get an insurance run. Vogan single to left in the first. And the pitch, he shows bunt, takes a pitch, up and in. He gets low bridge, and he backs out of the way, and the count is 1-0. Corners are coming in. Stanislaus thinks they can get Vieira out at third. So they're trying to crash hard. They're going to bird dog Vieira at second, try to cut down on the lead, and if the bunt gets down, try to get him out at third base. Here's the pitch. Vogan will take it low for a ball, 2-0. But that's quite a weekend if he goes to LA. And you might remember, what's the odd thing about Reeder Field? It's the big baggy and right, the short porch, 340 to the right center field gap. Here's the 2-0. That's one popped up foul and out of play. And count goes 2-1. And where does Vieira hit the ball with authority? He drives it to right center. So it's a place that is tailor-made for his swing because he makes a lot of outs to deep right center. Here's the 2-1. Vogan, it's a ground ball to short. Vieira will stay put. The throw to first, they get the out. So Vogan not able to advance the runner, and Chico State having that difficulty today. They are not advancing the runners the way they need to. 1 down, that brings up Arambula, who flew to center in the second. Ernie 2 for 3 in the series. Runner at second, 1 down. Digs in right side. Geese is set. And the pitch. Ernie takes it high for a ball. 1-0. Geese looks in, gets his sign. Vieira a short lead at second base. And the pitch. Outside, ball 2. 2-0. So those numbers for Vieira down at Cal State Los Angeles for next week, just something to put in the back burner. Don't you know he knows that he has those numbers at that place. So he'll go there feeling good. Here's the pitch. That's down low, ball 3. 3 balls and no strikes. Jesse Gadd is waiting on deck for the Wildcats. We're in the fourth. Chico up 2-1. Geese is set. There's activity in the Standy bullpen. Here's the 3-1 pitch. That's low. That's ball 4. And it is a walk. So Arambula draws the freebie. Runners are now at first and second for Chico State with one out, and Jesse Gadd will be the hitter. So 2 on and 1 out for Chico State's number 8 hitter, Jesse Gadd. And a good opportunity here for the Wildcats to add to their lead. Kenny Leonosio is going to the mound. He does have a right-hander getting loose in the bullpen. And the move might be made here. Geese is scuffling with his command. He's walked 3, he's hit 1, he's given up 4 hits. There's traffic on the base paths. And Leonosio with the visit. Home plate umpire not making the trip yet, force the proceedings along in a little more quick fashion, and now Nicholas Webb will make the trip out there. We'll see if Kenny makes the move. Nope, he's sticking with him. Great chance here for Gadd, who walked in the second inning. 275 hitter, 3 homers, 16 runs batted in for Jesse. He'll dig in now from the left side. Looking in his Geese. He does come set. And the pitch. Fastball misses low. 1 ball, no strikes. Carson Case, who hit one on the button his last AB back in the second, but it went as an out, is waiting on deck. Geese set again, checks Vieira at second. Here comes the 1-0. Breaking ball just missed. Almost got a piece of that outside corner, but now the count goes to 2-0. Geese again, set. 2-0. Swing and a miss. Challenge him with a fastball. And Gadd waves right through it. 2 balls and a strike. Good pitch there by Geese. Didn't come over the middle of the plate. He went to the outside corner, and Gadd took a big hack. Came up empty. 2-1. Geese checks second. Here comes the 2-1 delivery. Breaking ball. That was a beauty. Spun it on the outside corner. Taken for a strike. Count goes 2-2. Good pitch. Chico looking for that elusive hit. Runner in scoring position. Try to stretch this thing out. Here's the 2-2. Fastball, they challenge him, but it's low. Gadd takes it. And the count is now full at 3-2. Vieira the runner at second. Arambula is the runner at first. Navarrete plays well behind Ernie, who gets a big lead. 3-2 the count. Runners go on 3-2. Swung on and missed. Gadd is down on strikes on a breaking ball. The runners do advance. They steal both second and third respectively. So Arambula gets a stolen base, as does Vieira. And we have a train with runners at second and third and 2 down, and it will be our 4th train of the day and our 35th of the season. And here's Carson Case. And the pitch. Case takes a breaking ball, down and in. One ball, no strikes to Case. Lined out to right field in the second. Big opportunity for Chico State here in the 4th inning to add to their lead. The 1-0. Case takes down and in, ball 2. 2-0. 0 for 4 in the series is Carson. 17 RBIs on the year, 5 extra base hits. And here comes the 2-0. Ball 3 high, 3-0. So the Wildcats now pitch away from bringing up Thade Miller with the bases loaded. Thade waiting on deck. 3-0 count to Case. And the pitch. In the dirt, ball 4. Carson Case works the walk. And now it is Thade Miller with the bags full for Chico State. And here is Miller. That is the 4th walk issued by Geese, and it will be the last walk issued by him, as they will pull him and go to the bullpen as Kenny Leonosio will make the move. So a new pitcher is coming in. The bases are loaded. 2 outs, bottom of the 4th. Chico clinging to the 2-1 lead. We take a break, come back right after this.
Tres Hombres is now accepting reservations online. Whether you're celebrating a date night, birthday, or simply want to ensure you have a table ready.
Are you there?
Yeah.
Do me a favor. We have a major delay right now. It's about 10 to 15 seconds. So will you just turn the phone off and reset it?
Sure. All right.
There we go.
Okay.
Sounds good. I feel like sometimes we need to do that in some days. I don't know why.
Our buy one get one plan maintenance special is only $92. Get both your heater and AC checked before the bad weather starts, because your comfort is our business.
Pitcher for Stanislaus is Patrick Sweeney, a 6'1", 205-pound senior from Scotts Valley. And the numbers for Sweeney on the year: 1-3 with a 7.15 ERA, 13th appearance, 8th in relief, 34 innings pitched. He's given up 62 hits, 30 runs, 27 earned, only 5 walks. He has struck out 17. Opponents, though, hitting .397 against him. And here's Thade Miller, and he takes the pitch up high, 1-0. Big spot in this game. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Chico leading 2-1. Thade this year 0 for 6 with the bases loaded. And the pitch. Outside, ball 2, 2-0. You got Casillas on deck. Sweeney does come set. And the 2-0 delivery, and this is swung on and popped up foul. First base side, that's out of play, and the count goes to 2-1. 3 2/3 innings for Geese today. Gave up 4 hits. So far, the 2 runs, but he's responsible for all the runners on base. 2-1 the count, the pitch. Ground ball hit to third. Gloved by Perez. Takes it to the bag for the out, and the Wildcats leave them loaded. A golden chance for Chico that they let slip by the boards here in inning 4 as top by more. The first inning looked like it would be a big inning for them, but they just have not been able to add on. And Stanislaus hanging around. Here's a line shot foul down the right field line by Navarrete. Count is 0-1. Last night, Chico did a great job of tacking on runs. Today, not so much. Here comes the 0-1. Ground ball hit to short. Tough hop for Arambula. Came up on him. He glided to his left and came up and hit him in the shoulder. That was not a nice hop, and the leadoff man is on. It'll be an error on Ernie to start things here in the fifth. Second error of the ball game for Chico State. Fourth of the series, and that is tough for Chico State. They only had one last weekend at San Marcos. So here's Jacob Baker, throw over to first, and back is Navarrete. Looks in, gets his sign, does Borelli. And the pitch. Misses inside, 1-0. Dominguez Hills has rallied. They have come back to tie Cal State Los Angeles at 9. They scored 4 runs in the bottom of the 6th to tie it. Here's the pitch. This one is popped up foul and out of play. And it was a home run barrage in the ball game. The wind has got to be blowing out today at Dominguez Hills because the Toros have hit 6 home runs in the game. 6 taters. Here's the pitch. Hard hit ground ball between short and third. Through into left field. That's a base hit. Navarrete will go to second. Baker's got the single. Runners are now at first and second with nobody out for the Warriors, and that'll bring up Danny Murphy, their catcher. San Bernardino has added to their lead. They have scored 3 runs in the bottom of the 3rd. They lead San Marcos 8-4. That game is in the top of the 4th. First and second, nobody out for Stanislaus. Danny Murphy, this is a bunt situation. He does not tip off. He's going to bunt, even though there's a pickup try by Borelli just to see if he would tip it off. Two on our score. We're in the 5th. Baker ready to charge if he has to, but if Borelli could field it, they might be able to get a force at third if there's a bunt. Their bunt is down. It's a good one. Borelli will glove. He'll turn. He'll throw to third. They get the out. Nicely done. Borelli pounced. Baker went to third, and the Wildcats get the force. So Murphy got it down, but Rocco did a good job. He knew where he wanted to go with the ball as he was coming off the mound. There was no hesitation, and made a good throw to Baker. And the out recorded. 1-5 on the force play. Fielder's choice on the bunt for Murphy. Runners are at first and second with 1 out, and here's Jackson Brooks, who singled and scored in the 3rd. Borelli's pitch. Brooks lifts this one down the left field line. Long run for Casillas. That ball will drop untouched. Foul territory. Count is 0-1. Looking in is Rocco, gets his sign. We're in the top of the 5th. Chico leading by a score of 2-1. He does come set. And the pitch. Lined into center field. That's going to be a base hit. Rounding third will be the base runner Navarrete. He will score, and going all the way to third is Baker. And it is now a 2-2 game. The bloop single into center by Jackson Brooks on a pitch that was down and away. An RBI hit for Brooks, his 8th RBI of the year. Now the lead runner's at third with only 1 out. Baker scored the run. You might remember Navarrete was forced at third, so in my play-by-play I had Navarrete scoring, but of course he had made the out to start the inning. First and third, 1 out now. Murphy's at third, Brooks is at first. Here's Leonosio, their best hitter. And he bunts it, gets it down. Borelli will glove, he'll flip it home. The ball gets away from Vieira. It goes to the backstop. The runners will move up to second and third. Stanislaus now leads 3-2. Borelli trying do a little too much. He gloved it, he flipped it with his glove. The ball got through Vieira, and the inning has turned into a mess. Another error for Chico State, a sacrifice bunt by Stanislaus, and Chico State has been very messy in the inning, very messy in the game. They now trail third at 3-2. Runners are at second and third with one out, and Stanislaus has their first lead of the series. So 3 errors on Chico State. There will be an RBI for Leonosio. There will be a sacrifice for Leonosio. There will be an error on Chico State. Dave Taylor now to the mound with second and third and one out, and the leadoff hitter Valdivia coming to the plate. And now you look at all of those wasted opportunities for Chico State. Runner at third, one out in the first. Did not score. Leadoff double in the fourth. Did not score. First and second, one out in that fourth inning. Did not score. So, game of baseball does not forgive shoddy defense and bad hitting with runners in scoring position. And right now, the Wildcats paying the price, and it's up to them to try and keep this a one-run game. And you might remember also the bad base running in the first inning. That also cost them. Second and third, one out. Valdivia, the hitter, the pitch. Infield comes in, pitches down and away, 1-0. Valdivia taps home plate. Brooks the runner at third, Leonosio the runner at second. Borelli's pitch. Misses down and away for a ball. Count goes 2-0. You got Luke Davies waiting on deck. Pitch. Down and away, ball 3. 3-0. Not the worst thing in the world to walk Valdivia. He's one of their better hitters. First base is open, and it would set up a double play and a force at any bag. 3-0 the count. And the pitch. Way outside, ball 4. He walked him on 4 pitches. That was basically the unintentional intentional. If Valdivia wanted to chase, he would let him. So now the base is loaded and one out. Luke Davies, the DH, will step in from the left side. Chico will bring their infield back now. Double play depth up the middle. And Stanislaus looking for a big inning here to break it open. They're up 3-2 here in the 5th. Borelli gets a sign from Vieira. He does come set. Bullpen will start wrestling around in the bullpen for the Cats. The pitch. Breaking ball down and in. 1 ball and no strikes. Well, last night Stanislaus put their team behind the 8 ball with all of their... And something's going on here. The umpires are going to gather in the middle of the diamond. Oh, he thinks that Davies got hit by the pitch. So Nicholas Webb is going to ask his mates. They say no. So now 1 ball, no strike count on Davies. And last night, Stanislaus committed 6 errors and put their pitching staff in a bind. This afternoon, Chico's already committed 3. We're in the 5th. They've made things difficult on Borelli. Here's a pickoff play at second. They break in behind the runner, Leonosio. Arambula slaps the tag, but Leonosio gets back. Looking in, getting his sign is Borelli. 1-0 now to Davies. Bases loaded, 1 out. 3-2 Stanislaus, the pitch. Hits a hard ground ball to first. Knocked down by Vogan. He'll take it to the bag for the out. That's a good play. Casey took it right off the chest. It'll bring a run home. Jackson Brooks will score. The runners will move to second and third. 3 unassisted on the putout of Davies. And he picks up the RBI, his 16th of the year. It's a 3-run inning for Stanislaus. They now lead it by a score of 4-2 here in the 5th. And that'll bring up Solis. Flew to center in the first. thrown out by Vieira on a little nubber in front of the home plate area back in the 4th. Homered last night. The pitch. Pops it up. It's playable. Arambula calls it. Arambula catches it. Inning is over. But a messy inning for Chico State. Stanislaus sends 8 hitters to the plate. They score 3 runs on 2 hits. There were 2 Chico errors and 2 runners left on base. We are halfway through game 1 of today's doubleheader. Stanislaus 4 and the Chico State Wildcats 2. Casillas hit by a pitch, scored in the first, singled in the third. And the pitch, fastball, strike, count 0-1. 4 runs, 3 hits, no errors for Stanislaus. They've left 2. 2 runs, 4 hits, and 3 errors for Chico. They've left 5. Here's the pitch. Casillas, it's a hard ground ball, foul, wide of third. No balls and 2 strikes. They're in the top of the 4th inning in San Bernardino. San Marcos has the bases loaded with 2 outs, trailing 8-4 against the Yotes. Here comes the 0-2. Casillas takes it upstairs for a ball. 1-2. San Bernardino won yesterday's game 14-7. Looking in. Sweeney in the pitch. Casillas takes it a little bit low. Thought he had it. 2-2. Got out of the bases loaded mess in the 4th. Here comes the 2-2. Casillas lines this one into right center, sinking quickly, but it slices right into Brooks. The right fielder got a good break on it. It hung up just long enough for him to race over and make the grab. 1 down here in the 5th, and that'll bring up Troy Kent. An RBI double in the 1st, flew to right field in the 3rd. So here is Kent. 2 for 7 in the series. Here's the wind and the delivery. And he rips it into right field for a base hit. 5th hit of the ball game for Chico State, 2nd for Kent. He's now 3 for 8, a 1-out single for the Wildcats' leading hitter. And that'll bring up Michael Baker. Baker, an RBI ground out in the 1st. Grounded to short in the 3rd. 2 for 7 in the series. Looks in, does Sweeney. Kent takes his lead, and the pitch. Fastball misses high, 1-0. 317 hitter coming into the game. He's now driven in 26 runs for Chico State, 2nd most on the team. The 1-0. Baker rips it up the middle, angling over Leonosio. Gloves, flips to second for 1. The wheel, the turn to first, it's offline. A good play by Leonosio to get there behind the second base bag. And he's able to flip it to Valdivia. They do get the force. So a fielder's choice. 1 out. Make that 2 outs, excuse me. 2 on, or 1 on, 2 out. There I go. Got it. Now Vieira grounded to short in the first, doubled, stranded in the fourth. Pitch up and in for a ball. 1-0. Phoenix Samay has just doubled home 2 for San Marcos. It's 8-6. San Bernardino in the fourth. Here's the 1-0. Vieira takes. That's just off the plate for a ball. 2-0. Casey Bogan waiting on deck for the Wildcats. Baker takes his lead. Sweeney is set. 2-0. Vieira skies this one to center. He got jammed, and Baker is there. The center fielder will make the catch. The inning is over, and Chico does not cash in the 1-out single. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. Chico is stranded 6. We go to the 6th. Stanislaus 4, Chico 2. A 3 spot in the 5th, highlighted by a couple of hits and a couple of Chico errors. Perez is 1 for 6. He lined out to second in inning 2, flew to center in the 4th. Here's Borelli's pitch. Swing and a miss by Flavio Perez. And the count is 0-1. Perez hitting .317, 5 homers, 30 runs batted in. We are in the top half of the 6th. The pitch. That's a fastball that misses outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Cal State LA and Dominguez still tied at 9. They're in the 8th inning. Top of the 8th, 9-9. Score there. Pitch. That goes to the backstop. 2 balls and a strike. They're in the bottom of the 4th now. It is San Bernardino 8, San Marcos 6. Looks in, gets his sign, does Borelli. 2-1 on Perez in the delivery. Strike called. Perez checked his swing. Umpire said, I don't need to appeal. It's a strike. 2-2. Borelli is set. Here's the 2-2. Line, center field, base hit. He barreled it up. That ball was up. Line it into center for a base hit. Case will get it back in. So a leadoff single here for the Warriors to start inning 6. And that'll bring up Art Navarrete, the first baseman. Navarrete struck out looking in the 2nd and hit that ground ball to short in the 5th, where Arambula committed the error, and it opened up the 3-run inning for the Warriors. Dave Taylor making the trip to the mound. Borelli's at the 70 pitch mark. Dave Taylor looks on down to the bullpen. He's got activity down there, and it looks like he's going to be going to Joseph Lubert. So Lubert will be making his appearance now as Borelli's day is done. The Wildcats trail by a score of 4-2. Lubert coming in, trying to keep this a 2-run deficit. 4-2 Stanislaus. 90-second break. We're back right after this.
There is an old saying, good locks are not cheap.
For Chico State, it's Joseph Lubert. Lubert is making his 16th appearance of the year, a 3-1 record, 2 saves, earned run average of 5, 27 innings pitched, 33 hits, 15 runs all earned. He's walked 11, struck out 28. Opponent sitting 292 against Lubert. One of their leverage arms that they've gone to this year that they feel real good about. And Lubert will be facing Art Navarrete with a runner at first, nobody out, top of the 6th. Stanislaus leading by a score of 4-2. He faces the lefty Navarrete, and the pitch by Lubert, and it bounces up there. 1 ball and no strikes. Jacob Baker waiting on deck. East Bay leading Pomona right now, 13-6 in the 9th. That's game 1 of a doubleheader. And the pitch. That misses up and away, ball 2. Navarrete 1 for 5 in the series. Lubert set, pitch. Low, ball 3. 3-0. Joseph toes the rubber. Flavio Perez has like a 1-step lead at first. The 3-0, it's not even close. Up and away, ball 4. So Lubert walks the first batter he faces. Runners are now at first and second with nobody out for Stanislaus. They got an inning set up nicely, and now it'll be Jacob Baker. Baker flew to right in the 2nd, singled and scored in the 5th. He's 2 for 5 in the series. Quick visit to the mound by Vieira. Quick discussion with Lubert. The game now 1st and 2nd, nobody out here in the top of the 6th. Stanislaus leading 4-2. Despite clinching this playoff spot that Chico did yesterday with their win, they still have a ton to play for, especially with the various games that are going on around the conference. We're talking about regional seeding and such. So they got to take care of business. Here's the pitch. That misses low, 1-0. 5 straight out of the zone by Lubert. Looking in, getting his sign is Joseph. He does come set. And the pitch. Bunt is shown. It's a bunt. Third base side. It's a good one. Baker will glove. He'll throw to first. They'll get the out. Sacrifice is a good one by the Warriors as they move 2 runners into scoring position. 5-4 on the sacrifice. Runners are now at 2nd and 3rd with 1 out. And now it's Danny Murphy. He was asked to lay a sac bunt down back in the 5th. They got the force out at third base. He eventually reached on the fielder's choice and scored a run. Chico brings their infield in, down 2 here in the 6th, trying to cut the run off at home plate. Murphy's 0 for 5 in the series. The pitch takes a strike. Outside corner, good pitch. Count 0-1. Looking in is Joseph Lubert. Has come set. 0-1. Bunt is shown. Pitch is taken down low. They appeal, saying, did he offer? Eric Martinez says he didn't. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jackson Brooks, who is 2 for 2, is waiting on deck. Leonosio looks in, or make that Leonosio waiting in the wings. It's Lubert looking in. The pitch, it's popped up. This will work. It's on the infield. Arambula backpedaling. He's there. He will make the catch. Good job. He used 2 hands. That ball popped in, and then he snow-coned it. And with 2 hands, he was able to keep it in the glove. So they get a big second out on just a pop-up as Murphy kind of reached out and took a 2-strike hack on a 1-1 pitch. So now the infield can move back. 2nd and 3rd and 2 down. And here's Jackson Brooks, and he's been a problem. Singled last night in a pinch hitting role, and he's 2 for 2 in this game. Has scored 2 runs and has driven in a run. So he's 3 for 3 in the series. And the pitch takes a strike. Outside corner. Count 0-1. This is the specialty really for Lubert facing these lefties, where he can use that changeup. Let's see if he tries to get Brooks out in front here. 0-1 the count. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Count is 0-2. Good pitch. Leonosio's their best batting average hitter. He's on deck. So you kind of want to get Brooks. And you'd think, oh, let's go righty versus righty and face Leonosio, number 9 hitter. No, he's not your typical 9 hitter. He's their best hitter. Here's the 0-2. Show him the fastball up and away. On top of that, Lubert is just more effective against the lefties. So this is where it goes against the grain, goes against the book a little bit. 1-2 the count now to Brooks. Lubert trying to get out of the mess. The pitch. Swung on, hit a hard hit, ground ball, second base, but Miller is there. Gloves it, throws, got him, inning over. And Lubert does a good job of navigating his way through a 1st and 2nd no-out situation. And Chico State gets out of it, keeping the deficit at 2. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 left. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Stanislaus 4, Chico State 2. In the bottom of the 6th. Patrick Sweeney, second pitcher of the day for Stanislaus on the first pitch, and Vogan swings and fouls it straight back. Casey singled in the first, grounded to short in the 2nd. Don't forget, stick around. We'll have Warriors basketball tonight after our doubleheader, Warriors and Rockets, game 6. Here's Vogan. He gets jammed. It's a ground ball to short. Valdivia picks it up, throws on to first, and gets the out. One down here in the 6th. And that'll bring up Ernie Arambula for Chico State. Ernie flew to center in the 2nd, walked, stole a base, but forced out at 3rd base back in the 4th. 2 for 3 in the series. The line by Sweeney and the pitch. Fastball, strike. Outside corner, count 0-1. Ernie, a 340 hitter coming in, no homers. He's driven in 18. And the pitch. It's a hard ground ball to short. Valdivia is there. Gloves it, throws, low, dug out by Navarrete. 2 down. Unlike last night where Stanislaus was kicking the ball all around Nettleton Stadium, they've been flawless today defensively. Chico has it, and that's why they trail. And now it's Jesse Gadd. Walked in the 2nd, stranded, struck out swinging in the 4th. Gadd will dig in now from the left side. Here's the pitch by Sweeney. Fastball misses low, 1-0. Warriors and Rockets, game 6. Golden State up 3-2. They're home for game 6 tonight. Here's Sweeney into the line in the pitch. Gadd lifts this one down the left field line. Long run for Solis. The wind holds it up for him. He's there. He'll make the catch. Chico is retired easily in inning 6. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. We go to the 7th. Stanislaus 4, Chico State 2.
Attention, California Water Service.
Leonosio will start it off. It'll be Leonosio, Valdivia, and Davies. 9-1 and 2 for Stanislaus here in the 7th. They lead it by a score of 4-2. The pitch. It's a chopper foul. That'll get into the dugout. The Warriors on the 3rd base side. Count is 0-1. Lubert looking in. And the pitch. Misses down and away for a ball. Leonosio, a sacrifice bunt, a safety squeeze to get a run home in the 3rd. And then another one to get a run home in the 5th. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to the left of Arambula. That gets through. Base hit. Leadoff single. And it is the 3rd straight inning. Stanislaus had their leadoff man on. As Leonosio gets the ground single into center. Not your typical number 9 hitter. Their leading hitter, and starts it off with a knock. Now Valdivia, who's 0 for 5 in the series. Grounded to short in the 1st, flew to left in the 3rd, walked, stranded in the 5th. Pitch. Takes low, 1-0. Cal State Los Angeles in the top of the 8th against Dominguez Hills loaded the bases but failed to score. That game is now in the bottom of the 8th with Dominguez 9, LA 9. Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss through that changeup. Got to swing through. 1-1. Luke Davies waiting on deck. Lubert set. 1-1. Just misses down and away. Good pitch. Count goes 2-1. And they appeal, and Eric Martinez said, oh, he went. Leonosio can't believe it. He barks down to Eric Martinez saying, no way. And the count now 1-2. That's a big strike call. Lubert set. Turn and a throw. And back is Leonosio. Lubert set at the belt. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Slider down and away. Gets Valdivia swinging and missing. Strikeout for Lubert. His first of the game. One down here in the 7th. That'll bring up Luke Davies. So here's Davies. He is 0 for 6 in the series. Grounded to third in the first, struck out in the 4th, grounded out to first in the 5th. He swings and pops this foul into the parking lot, and the count is 0-1. His ground out in the 5th brought home a run. It was his 16th run batted into the season. When the Wildcats hit in the 7th, Case, Miller, Casillas. Without a doubt, today in this game, you've heard some fans kind of hollered out, wake up Chico State. They are flat right now. You can just see it. There's not a lot of energy with the Wildcats in this ball game right now. Here's the pitch. Runner goes. Pitch bounces. It goes high in the air and it goes into the stands. So Leonosio will get credit for a stolen base as he was off with the pitch. The ball bounced in front of home plate, skipped off of Vieira, went over the screen and into the stand. So it's a stolen base for Leonosio. He's in scoring position. And an opportunity here for a couple of hitters to try and bring the run home. It's the 8th steal of the year for Leonosio. This is a team that runs pretty well. They got 3 guys that primarily do their running. Leonosio is one of them. Baker has stolen 11 and Danny Murphy has stolen 10. Here's the 1-1. Davies takes a strike. Outside corner. Count goes 1-2. You got Solis on deck. Looks in, does Lubert. It's his side. And the pitch. That misses high for a ball. Count goes to 2-2. 4 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Warriors. They've left 4. 2 runs, 5 hits, 3 errors for Chico. They have left 6. 2-2 to Davies. The pitch. Change away. Doesn't offer. Count is full. 3-2. Lubert heaves aside, toes the rubber again. Leonosio takes his lead. Arambula Bird Dogs behind him. Lubert set at the belt. 3-2 pitch. Hit second base. Thade Miller gloves it. Throws on to first. They get the out. Advancing over to third is Leonosio, and there's 2 down here in the 7th. And that brings up Solis. He is 0 for 3. Flew to center in the first. Little nubber out in front of home plate, where Vieira threw him out in the 4th, and he popped up to short in the 5th. 2 for 6 in the series. A dangerous hitter, though. Home run leader with 6. Has driven in 19. The pitch. Takes upstairs for a ball, 1-0. Lubert looking in, getting his sign. Leonosio the lead away from third. The 1-0. This one is lifted into left center field. Ranging over is Casillas. Races over. He's not going to get it. That ball will split the outfielders. They'll go to the track. Run will score. Solis is in at second base with an RBI double, and it is 5-2 Stanislaus. Well, they cash in the leadoff single and then the stolen base. And Solis got a breaking ball, kept his hands back, and really barreled it up. I thought the ball might be able to hang up long enough for Casillas to get there, but it split the outfielders perfectly, and Stanislaus has now taken a 5-2 lead. Flavio Perez will be the hitter. Lubert's pitch. Swung on and missed by Perez, and the count is 0-1. Lined out to second in the second, flew to center in the fourth, singled in the sixth. Lubert does come set, and the pitch. Swing and a miss, and the count is 0-2. Good pitch by Lubert. Lubert looks in, the 0-2 delivery. Bounces a breaking ball. Vieira does a good job of blocking it. Count goes to 1-2. Wildcats scored 2 in the first and haven't done anything else since. They had second and third with nobody out and a run home. Managed to score only one more run, had 2 base running blunders in the inning. Got a leadoff double in the fourth, didn't score, had the bases loaded, did not score. And they've just been kept in check by 2 pitchers who have earned run averages well over 5. Runner takes off for third, the pitch is down low, and it's a stolen base. So Solis takes off, and he'll steal third with 2 down. And the count is now 2-2 on Perez, who didn't chase the breaking ball in the dirt. 2-2 the count. Pitch. Up and away, ball 3. 3-2. Navarrete waiting on deck. Deep breath for Lubert. And the pitch. Hit hard, wide of third. Baker will glove, though. Steps and throws to first. Gets the out, inning is over. But Stanislaus adds to their lead. They pick up a run on a couple of hits. No errors, and a runner is left. We're going to the bottom of the 7th. 5 unanswered for Stanislaus. They lead by a score of 5-2 back after this. Leads by a score of 5-2. We're in the bottom of the 7th. LA has just taken a lead in the 9th inning. A home run by Isaiah Marquez. They now lead Dominguez 10-9. Pitch to Carson Case, who starts it off here in the 7th, and it's up high, 1-0. Flew to right in the 2nd, walked, stranded in the 4th. Here comes the 1-0. Case lines it into right field. That is a base hit. He's had some good swings in this series and finally sees one pay off. So a leadoff base hit for Chico State here in the bottom of the 7th, and that'll bring up Thade Miller. The Wildcats have some work to do in this one. Thade is 0 for 2. Walked and scored in the first, flew to center in the 2nd, grounded to 3rd in the 4th. Pitch misses, 1-0. Phoenix Casillas is waiting on deck. Sweeney bent at the waist, looks in, he'll throw to first base. Case is back. First game of today's doubleheader. We'll be playing a 7-inning second game about 35 minutes after the completion of game 1. The 1-0. Miller, it's a line drive. It is short hopped at second. They go to second for one, on to first. They will not turn the double play. That ball was hit on a line to Leonosio. He played the short hop. He turned and threw the ball to second to get the force. Thade Miller running really well, got up that line and beat the return throw. So a fielder's choice for Thade, 1 out, 1 on. And now it is Casillas, hit by a pitch, scored in the first, singled in the third, flew to right in the fifth. And the pitch. He lines it into center field, a base hit. Thade Miller goes to second, he's thinking 3. Here's the throw by Baker, it's offline, going to second is Casillas, he's in there! And the Wildcats now with runners at second and third with 1 out. When the throw missed the cutoff man, Casillas saw an opening and took second base. And he has the speed to get there. So now the Wildcats, second and third, 1 out, and here's Kent. And with the wind blowing out to right, he looks to at least get Chico State a little bit closer here. Kent is 2 for 3, an RBI double in the first, flew to the track in the third, single to right in the fifth. You got Baker on deck. Kent, the real power threat. Going to the mound is Murphy. He'll have a quick word with his pitcher, Sweeney. Good bit of hitting there by Casillas, who went down and got a pitch down at the ankles and just hit a laser right over Valdivia's head and into left center. Thade Miller aggressively taking third, and when the throw missed the cutoff man, it was read by Casillas, who went and took second base. Good base running by Phoenix. Leonosio making the trip to the mound. He has got a pitcher warming up in the bullpen. And we'll see if he is going to stick with Sweeney in this spot. The message he's delivering, though, is listen, we're up 3. He's the tying run. We do have a base open, and he is really the lone power threat. If you're going to make a mistake, don't miss out over the plate. Miss in the dirt, miss anywhere else, but don't miss out over the plate. Kent is Chico State's best hitter in basically every offensive category. Batting average, home runs, RBIs, hits, second in runs scored, best on base percentage. Tied for the team lead in steals. And he digs in here. Kent with runners in scoring position this year, hitting .415. And the pitch. He takes a fastball right down the chute for a strike. And the count is 0-1. Second and third, 1 out for Chico State here in the bottom of the 7th inning. And the pitch. In the dirt, nice block by Murphy. 1 ball and 1 strike. So they got ahead with the first pitch. Then they wanted to see if Kent was so anxious to bring in the run that they threw a pitch in the dirt to see if he would chase. Looking in, getting his sign is Sweeney. Runners take their leads. And the pitch. Lifts it to left field, hit pretty well. Going back is Solis. He's going to have a play, and he dropped the ball! He dropped the ball! In to score is Miller. Casillas to third, Kent to second. The wind knocked that thing down so much that Solis went back, and when he came in, he kind of stumbled for it, and it hit him in the webbing of the glove, and he dropped it. So an error on Solis in left. It should be probably an RBI for Kent on the sacrifice. An error charged to Solis, second and third, 1 out, 5-3, and the tying runs are in scoring position on a huge break. Leonosio to the mound. He's getting his man out of the bullpen as the Cats have gotten a huge break in the 7th inning. Can they take advantage of it? It's Stanislaus 5, Chico 3. 90-second break. We'll tell you about the new pitcher right after this.
Attention California Water Service customers, save water.
5-3. They have runners at second and third with one out. Michael Baker is at the plate. Middle infielders are playing back. They'll concede a run on a ground ball. The corners are playing in, and the Wildcats a base hit away from trying to tie this thing. Rosen is set in the pitch, and Baker takes down and away for a ball, 1-0. Cameron Rosen is 6'4", 180 pounds. He's a junior from Fresno, a transfer from Wayne State. He does come set. Runners take their lead. The 1-0. Baker drives it to right, hangs up though for Brooks. It takes off on him. He jumps up, he makes the catch. Runner Casillas tags from third and scores, and Kent will tag at second and go to third. It's a run-scoring fly ball. The wind is blowing out toward right, and coming in was Brooks, and he almost overran it. The ball almost sailed over his head. He leaped up and he made the catch. Baker gets credit for the RBI, his second of the game, 27th of the year. It's now 5-4. And the tying run is 90 feet away for Chico State. And here is Vieira. He is 1 for 3 on the day, 2 for 7 in the series. The pitch takes a fastball that misses outside, 1-0. On that ball hit by Kent to left that was dropped, 2 errors are being given to Solis, and we'll tell you why in a moment. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. And Vieira drives it to right. The wind is taking it, but it's not going to carry out of here. Brooks is there in front of the track. He'll make the catch, and the inning is over. Chico settles for 2. They still trail, but they get closer. They score 2 runs. There were 2 hits. There were 2 Stanislaus errors, and a runner is left. We go to the 8th inning. It's Stanislaus 5, Chico State 4.
Be part of the excitement.
Attention please. Attention changes for Chico State. Now pitching. Number 21, James Oshon.
Bring in left-handed pitcher James Corshon. What a spot for James. He's a senior, and he is making his 5th appearance of the year. He has thrown 2/3 of an inning, given up 4 hits, 2 runs, and he does have a strikeout. He's a hard-throwing lefty, and this ball is driven against the left-handed hitter Navarrete, and he fouls it off down the right field line. The count is 0-1. Navarrete is 1 for 5 in the series. So Corshon getting only his 5th appearance of the series, or the season. But if you want to get these lefties an opportunity here, just in case you're going to need them, and Corshon hasn't pitched in quite some time, but you want to get him in there because I think he'll be on the postseason roster. And if you need to get a tough lefty out, you want to see how he'll react. He's going to face some lefties here. There's a nice late movement on a pitch away, and that one is popped up foul and out of play. 0-2 to Navarrete. 2 innings for Lubert, 2 hits, did give up a run, walked 1, struck out 1. It's 5-4 Stanislaus. We're in the 8th. And the 0-2 on a quick pitch, and it misses down, 1-2. They're in the bottom of the 9th at Dominguez Hills. LA leads 10-9, trying to win the first 2 games of that series. The pitch. And this one is lifted into shallow center. Case is coming in. Miller going out. It's Case. He's there, he'll make the catch, and there's one down here in the 8th inning. Good job by Corshon getting that lefty out. Dave Taylor happy with what Corshon was able to do. Now the right-handed hitter Baker is coming to the plate, but Corshon got his man, and now they'll go to a right-hander out of the bullpen. So a matchup lefty for Chico State. Corshon gets the fly ball to center, gets the out, and now they'll go back to the bullpen. Good job by Corshon to get his man. And Drake Richardson is coming in out of the pen. Dave Taylor wants this game. You can, I mean, he's using his grade A guys here to try and seal the deal. We'll take a 90-second break. We're back right after this.
What does it mean to be rich? Maybe it's less about reaching a magic number and more about discovering the magic in life. I'm Brittany.
Will step in. Baker flew to right in the 2nd, singled and scored in the 5th, laid a sacrifice bunt down in the 6th. He is 2 for 5 in the series. Digs in now from the right side. Drake Richardson on the bump for Chico State. And it's swung on and fouled straight back. Richardson has been lights out for Chico out of their bullpen. A record of 2-0, a 1.06 ERA. 14th appearance, 17 innings pitched, 11 hits, 4 runs, only 2 earned. He has walked 10. He has struck out 18. Opponents only hitting 193 against him. The 0-1 misses inside. The count now 1-1. Richardson's pitch. There's a fastball. Pours it in there for a strike. The count goes 1-2. Richardson looking in, getting his sign. And the 1-2 pitch. Just misses. Richardson thought he had strike 3. He was ready to walk off the mound and do his walk before facing the next hitter. But Nicholas Webb says no, it's outside. 2-2. Here's the wind and the 2-2 pitch. Swung on, lifted to right, hanging up for Kent. He's coming on, he's there, he'll make the catch. 2 down here in the 8th. And that brings up Danny Murphy. Murphy flew to center in the 3rd, reached on a fielder's choice and scored in the 5th, popped to short in the 6th. And the pitch. There's a pitch that misses down. You might remember last half inning I said 2 errors were charged to Solis on that ball hit by Kent. There was an error on the dropped ball, and then when Solis picked it up, he literally basically almost threw the ball behind him, and the ball left his hand, and when that happened, Kent got to second base, and Casillas got to 3rd. So there were 2 errors on the play, the drop and then the drop of the ball when he was trying to throw it. Here's the 1-0, and that's in there for a strike. We have a train. It is our 5th of the day, our 36th of the season. Nettleton Stadium train count. Little chopper up the first base side. Playable for Vogan. He'll take it to the bag for the out. And Drake Richardson gets the 2 guys he was tasked with getting to close out the top half of the 8th. No runs, no hits, no errors, and no one is left. We head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Stanislaus 5, Chico State 4. trailing Stanislaus 5-4. It'll be Vogan, Arambula, and Gadd. As Chico, who'd been flat for much of this ball game, was given a huge break with an error in the 7th to help them score a pair. Vogan is 1 for 3, 2 for 7 in the series. And the pitch. And he hits a drive to left, but the wind is going to hang this up. Racing over Solis. He won't get there, though. The ball will one-hop the wall. Vogan rounds first. He digs for 2. He's in with a stand-up double. And the Wildcats have the tying run at second with nobody out here in the bottom of the 8th. As Vogan hammers one into left into that stiff breeze. And now the Wildcats will put Sean Pauly in the game. Pauly is going to run for Vogan. And now Ernie Arambula will hit. Ernie is 0 for 2 in the game, 2 for 4 in the series. Big moment here for the Cats to try and get this thing even. The pitch. Ernie shows bunt, takes a pitch for a strike on the outside corner, and the count is 0-1. The big thing here, get Pauly to third with less than 2 outs. Corners are in. Middle infielders are back. 0-1 to Arambula. The pitch. Hits a ground ball past the mound to second. That'll get the job done. Pauly goes to third, and Arambula moves him over. So now runner at third with 1 out. Arambula's ground ball to second gets the tying run to third. They're going to bring Jesse Gadd back, and they're going to bring Keller to the plate with a chance here to bring home the tying run. So Jeremy Keller will step in for Chico State, one of their RBI leaders who is slated to pitch in Game 2, and head coach Dave Taylor goes to one of his better bats to come up and hit here. Infield comes in. Keller hitting .279, 2 homers, 24 runs batted in. Last night, Keller went 0 for 3. Big runner at third with less than 2 outs for Keller. That's the tying run over there. The pitch. He skies this one into shallow center. Coming on is Baker. He will make the catch. Tagging at third, but Potts way too shallow. He cannot come home. And Keller hits a pop-up to very shallow center, and the Wildcats cannot get him home. And now it's up to Carson Case. Keller had been 6 for 8 in delivering a runner from third with less than 2 outs all year. And on the first pitch pops up, and now it's Case. He has hit some balls hard in this series. Lined out to right in the second, walked in the fourth, a ground single to right in the 7th. Here's the pitch. In the dirt, nice block by Murphy, and the count is 1-0. Carson Case with runners in scoring position on the year. Close your ears, 8 for 54, a 148 batting average. The pitch. Takes a breaking ball up high, 2-0. The irony has been he is their best hitter with the bases loaded, 3 for 8. But I feel better. I feel pretty good about him in this at-bat. I don't know if I'm calling the shot. I feel good about it. The 2-0. He takes a breaking ball for a strike. He has hit 3 balls on the screws. He hit one yesterday to center, a laser, a screamer that was caught, a screamer in the second, and then a line shot in the 5th. Here comes the 2-1. Takes a fastball, and that's called a strike. Top of the zone, count goes 2-2. Runner at third, 2 down. Chico State trying not to squander an absolutely golden opportunity to tie this ball game. LA has already won, so Chico has to win to keep pace. Here comes the 2-2. Breaking ball, and it hit him. It grazed his hand. And now Thade Miller is going to come to the plate. So Carson gets hit by the pitch. Runners are now at first and third with 2 down, and here is Miller. Thade is 0 for 3. He has scored 2 runs, walked in the first and scored, flew to center in the second, grounded to third in the 4th, grounded to second in the 7th. 2 for 7 in the series. Miller, a .327 hitter with runners in scoring position. First and third, 2 outs, bottom of the 8th. 5-4 Stanislaus. And the pitch. Hits a hard ground ball up the middle, base hit. This game is tied. Fade Miller delivers a 2-out RBI single into center, and Chico State has tied the game. Going to second is Case. Fade Miller, a hard grounder, picking up his 26th RBI of the year. Chico State has gotten this thing even. That is a huge knock for Miller. And now Casillas will be the hitter. And Casillas, who's got 2 hits in the game, he's been on base 3 times, could deliver the lead for the Wildcats with a base hit. He has 4 hits and 7 at-bats in the series. Hit by a pitch in the first, scored a run. Single to left in the third, flew to right in the 5th, and hit a line drive in a left center field in the 7th and scored a run. He came into the game hitting .359. That average has surged above .360. And here is Phoenix. Cameron Rosen taking a walk behind the mound after a visit by Murphy. 5-5 our score. Chico's come off the deck with 2 in the 7th and 1 here in the 8th to tie it. And here is Phoenix Casillas. Digs in from the right side. The lead run is Carson Case. He is at second base. And now Kenny Leonosio calls time, and he may be going to his pen. He will be. So a new pitcher will be coming in. We'll take a 90-second break. This game is all tied up at 5, and Chico State has the go-ahead run in scoring position with Phoenix Casillas ready to take some swings. We'll take a break. Come back right after this.
Attention, please. Attention, changes personnel on stage. Now pitching, number 15, Noah Shelburne.
He's one of the best they got. 19th appearance, 1-1 record, an earned run average of 3, 2 saves, 27 innings pitched, 27 hits, 13 runs, only 9 earned. He's walked 11, he has struck out 20. Opponents only hitting .265 against the hard-throwing right-hander. Casillas digs in the pitch. Fastball misses low, 1-0. Chelberg, right-handed pitcher. You got good speed at second with Case. A base hit should be able to score him. Chico will be aggressive on the base paths. 1-0 the count, the pitch. That's low, ball 2, 2-0. You got Kent on deck, so you're going to be aggressive to a point. But you don't want to run yourself into an out. But also, if you have the opportunity, you push the envelope, the 2-0. And that's a strike. Chelberg right down the chute, 2-1. So Leonosio feeling this is one to win. He's going to go to one of his big cards out of his bullpen. Dave Taylor has gone to some of his better arms. Case the big lead. They'll throw to second base, and the ball glanced off the infielder off of Leonosio. It got by Case, and Leonosio trying to backhand it, and it looked like, I think it hit him. And if it didn't, it goes into center. That would have been a big play. Case would have been able to move up, maybe even fade Miller. 2-1 the count to Casillas. Chelberg is set at the belt. The 2-1. Down and in, ball 3. 3-1, a pitch away from loading him up for Chico's best hitter, Troy Kent. It's got to be in the happy zone here for Casillas. 3-1 the count, the pitch. And that's right down the middle. It didn't even look like he was going to swing. He was going to say, all right, let's see if he can throw a strike in this spot with what's imposing on deck. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Runners will be off with the pitch. Now they should be able to score on a base hit. At least Case should be able to score. The 3-2 delivery. Ground ball, right field, base hit. Case is rounding third. They're going to bring him home. Chico State has the lead. Oh, 2 big, 2-out RBI hits to turn a 1-run deficit into a 1-run lead. And the Chico State Wildcats have come back from 3 runs down to go up 6-5 here in the 8th. Casillas banging out his 3rd hit of the afternoon. 2 massive hits by Thade Miller and Phoenix Casillas. And now runners are at the corners with 2 down, and here is Kent. And he can provide some insurance. Nope, he won't, because Leonosio's saying, I'm not pitching to him. So he gets walked intentionally. The bases are now loaded for Baker. So Baker will now hit with the bags full. He's 0 for 3 in the game. He's driven in a couple of runs, a run-scoring fly ball, and an RBI ground out. 6-5 Chico, bases loaded. 2 outs, bottom of the 8th, the pitch. Breaking ball in the dirt, the ball kicks away. Thade Miller scores on the wild pitch. 7-5 Chico State. The runners move to 2nd and 3rd. And the Wildcats taking advantage of some Stanislaus miscues and have taken a 2-run lead. Great hustle, great jump by Thade Miller over there at 3rd. The pitch, Baker takes a strike on the outside corner, and the count is 1-1. Baker, a 302 hitter with runners in scoring position. This is a big spot for some added insurance for the Cats. The 1-1 pitch slices this one foul and out of play, and the count goes to 1-2. Chico knows LA already won. Well, they don't know. We know. LA won 10-9 on an Isaiah Marquez home run in the 9th inning. They've taken the first 2 from Dominguez. So to keep pace with LA, they got to win. The pitch driven to right field. The wind is taking it. Going back is Brooks. He drifts back. He's there. And 5 feet in front of the track, he makes the catch. But a great inning for Chico State. Down by a run, down to 2 outs here in the 8th. They come up with 2 massive RBI hits from their top 2 hitters in their lineup, Miller and Casillas. They score 3 runs on 3 hits. No Stanislaus errors and 2 runners left on base. We go to the 9th. It's Chico State 7, Stanislaus 5.
Attention please. Attention for Chico State. Main game is being designated for number 14, Jeremy Kelly. Main game is flying left field. Number 10 is Sean Hall. Moving left field for first base. Number 22, Casillas. Top man right there. Leading off for Warriors. Right field, number 8, Johnson Brooks.
Richardson trying to basically save his own win. That's how you can look at it. Chico up 7-5. Here's Jackson Brooks, and the first pitch is in there for a strike. Brooks is 2 for 3. Singled, stole a base, scored in the third. Singled home a run, scored in the fifth. Grounded out to second base in the sixth. 0-1 pitch in there. Strike. Count goes 0-2. This would be a Houdini act for Chico State if they can pull this one off. Here's the 0-2. Just misses off the plate. 1-2 the count. Looks in, gets his sign. And the 1-2 delivery. Just misses. Had to be low. Looked good, but maybe a little bit low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the wind and the pitch. Swung on and missed. He struck him out. And Richardson giving Brooks a little stink eye. One down here in the ninth. Richardson, he gets on the mound, and his body language, I mean, his confidence gets there about 5 minutes before he does. 1 out, and that'll bring up Leonosio. That's how you want, I mean, if you're going out there and you're not believing your stuff is like Bob Gibson in his prime, I don't want to see it. Here's a ground ball at the first base. Casillas, who moves over there after the defensive switch, takes it on 2 hops to the bag for the out, and there's 2 quick outs here in the ninth inning. And now it's up to Valdivia. Valdivia is 0 for 3 in the game, 0 for 6 in the series. Grounded to short in the first, flew to left in the third, walked, stranded in the fifth, and struck out in the seventh. Richardson's pitch. Bounces it up there, 1-0. He's retired all 4 he's faced. You can basically say Drake Richardson's the best they got out of their bullpen right now. Here comes the wind and the 1-0. Down and in, ball 2. 2-0. They've got other really good arms. It's a deep bullpen. But Richardson has been pitching the best. Here comes the wind and the 2-0. Ground ball hit to third. Big hop for Baker. This should do it. Throws to first. The ball game is over, and the Chico State Wildcats win it. Win number 29 on the year. They knock off Stanislaus, and they come back from 3 runs down in the 7th to knock off the Warriors and pick up their 29th win of the season. A much-needed win for the Chico State Wildcats, and a big win to keep pace with LA, who beat Dominguez just about 20 minutes ago. Again, your final score, Chico State 7, Stanislaus 5. We take a 1-minute break, come back, wrap things up for Game 1, and then get you ready for Game 2 of today's doubleheader. Again, your final score, Chico State 7, Stanislaus State 5.
Ladies and gentlemen, your final scores for Game 1. For Stanislaus State, 5 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors. Chico State, 7 runs, 10 hits, 3 errors. Pitcher record for Chico State is Drake Richardson. He goes to 3-0. Pitcher record for Cameron Rosen. The Warriors is Cameron Rosen. He goes to 2-3. Time of the ball game, 2 hours, 29 minutes. Game 2 will begin in approximately 45 minutes.
Team, and although they've already clinched a playoff spot, they are playing for regional positioning to keep that position they're in, to continue playing good baseball, to have a good flow heading into LA next week. And boy, a good flow is coming back from 3 runs down, being flat for virtually the first 6 innings of this game, but coming off the deck against a pretty darn good bullpen, a couple of hard throwers with some good numbers, and scoring 5 runs over the last 2 innings to knock off Stanislaus by a score of 7-5. The Wildcats down 5-2 in the 7th. Not to say they didn't get any breaks, because they got a huge break with the Wildcats down 5-2 with 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. Troy Kent hit a fly ball to left. Alex Solis got fooled by the wind. The wind is pushing everything down. He went back, had to come sprinting in, tried to make a catch, kind of a backhanded catch waist high. It ticked off his glove. As he went to pick the ball up, it slipped through his hand, went about 5 feet behind him. 1 run scored. Runners moved to second.